Today, our group will discuss about the sport issue in Malaysia. The issue that we choose is lack of grassroots development. First is issue identification. Basketball in Malaysia has indeed faced challenges in grassroots development. There are several factors that have contributed to the lack of grassroots development in basketball in the country. First, limited facility. One of the key issues is the lack of proper basketball facilities such as court and training center, especially in rural areas. Many schools and community lack of necessary infrastructure to promote and develop basketball at the grassroots level. Second is limited awareness and exposure. Basketball has historically received less media coverage and exposure compared to other sports in Malaysia. As a result, many young athletes are not as familiar with the sport or have limited access to the basketball program and event. For the third one is dominance of other sports. Football and badminton are the two most popular sports in Malaysia, and they receive significant attention and investment. As a result, resource funding and talent tend to be concentrated in this sport, leaving basketball with fewer opportunities for development. Number 4 is lack of trained coaches. The shortage of well-trained coaches and instructors specializing in basketball is another challenge. Without qualified coaches to guide and train young players, it becomes difficult to nurture talent and develop the necessary skill at the grassroots level. For the last one, culture factor. In Malaysia, culture factor also play a role in the preference for certain sports. Traditional sports like sepak takraw and silat have a strong cultural significance, making it harder for basketball to gain popularity among the local population.
Now, I'm going to talk about analysis of implications. Implications for athletes and fans. Challenges faced by basketball in Malaysia have far-reaching implications for both athletes and fans. With limited opportunities for development and lack of support, athletes are often left without the resources they need to succeed. This not only affects their individual careers but also impacts the overall success of basketball in the country. Fans of basketball in Malaysia also suffer from these challenges, as they are deprived of the opportunity to see their favorite sport grow and thrive. Without proper funding and support, the sport cannot reach its full potential, leaving fans with limited options for entertainment and engagement. Next is the implication for sport organization, government, and sponsors. The challenges faced by basketball in Malaysia have significant implications for sports organization, government, and sponsors. One major consequence is the limited revenue generated from basketball events and sponsorships. With low participants rates and lack of success on the international stage, basketball struggles to attract fans and generate income. This can result in decreased funding for teams and organizations, as well as reduced interest from potential sponsors. Furthermore, the negative impact on the country overall sports development cannot be ignored. Basketball is just one of sports facing these challenges, and if left unaddressed, it could set a precedent for other sports struggling in Malaysia. This could lead to a decline in the quality of Malaysian athletes and a decrease in country's competitiveness on the global stage. Sports organizations, government, and sponsors must work together to address this issue and ensure the long-term success of sports in Malaysia.
Alright, now I will continue with our analysis of the Malaysian basketball based on what we have learned throughout our semester. First of all, in terms of innovation, we have determined that Malaysian innovation in basketball is quite slow compared to other fully developed countries, but aren't lacking behind when compared to other similar developing countries. This is because due to the lack of popularity of basketball in Malaysia, the focus is shifted from the national level to more local level, such as local communities, players, and coaches. These innovations include innovation in terms of rules and regulation, update to the latest guidelines, and athlete and coaches development, as well as technology for data analysis and streaming. Examples include the referee examination conducted by MAPA, which is Malaysian Basketball Association, some training and certification provided by MAPA, which are the World Association of Basketball Coaches Level 1 coaching course, and Sport Performance Specialist Level 1 certification for their coaches. Besides that, some companies also are developing AI and IoT technologies to increase the consumer satisfaction and athlete development in Malaysia basketball. Now I will continue with the advancements in technology, mainly IoT and AI technology for Malaysian basketball. The technology development in Malaysian basketball mainly focus on the streaming quality for consumers, as well as live data analysis for the athletes and other consumers such as audience and coaches. For example, the Huddle app developed by their technology SDM PhD helps the community to be more engaged with their local sports news and streaming. They are also developing AI technology to provide more streaming experience for their viewers, as well as live data analysis for players and coaches to use after they have finished their training or games. This technology is not only available for the public but also private institutions for there to be available to use their AI for streaming purposes when broadcasting their live events.
Here are some suggested solutions from us. 1. Improve infrastructure development. Increase the number of basketball courts, particularly in underserved areas, to provide accessible and safe space for training and playing. Collaborate with local communities, school and government agencies to identify suitable location and secure funding for court construction. 2. Awareness campaign and promotion. Launch targeted awareness campaign to educate the public about the benefit and potential of basketball. Engage with media outlets to increase coverage of basketball event, profile of player and success story to generate interest and inspire participation. 3. Increase funding and sponsorship. Advocate for increased funding from government bodies, sport associations and private sponsors to support grassroots basketball programs. Establish partnership with corporate entities that have an interest in promoting sport and invest in basketball development initiative. 4. Coaching and training program. Develop coaching certification program and provide opportunities for aspiring coaches to receive training and education. Collaborate with basketball association, local clubs and professional players to conduct coaching clinic and workshop, ensuring a continuous supply of qualified coaches at the grassroots level. 5. Collaboration and partnership. Foster collaboration among basketball association, schools, clubs and other stakeholders involved in basketball development. By working together, they can pool resources, share expertise and create a unified approach to grassroots basketball development. 6. Community engagement. Engage local communities by organizing basketball clinics, camps and outreach programs. Involve community leaders, parents and volunteers to create a supportive ecosystem for young basketball players.
So, the first goal is to gain awareness campaigns and promotions. So, the first group is responsible is schools. So, schools are responsible to establish a basketball club. So, this basketball club is to introduce basketball to the youth is either the children or teenagers. Then they can teach them a bit of skill. Primarily Malay and Indian schools are really need to establish this basketball club. And then the Ministry of Youth and Sports, they need to share anything about basketball, the results, or anything, the news about basketball in Malaysia, to reach out to primarily Malay and Indian and also Chinese people. And then the third group is parents. They need to introduce basketball into their children's mind, because sometimes, for example, if their children play football or badminton, they can introduce basketball as another option. So the second goal is community engagement. Community engagement is to engage with rural and in urban areas, for example in the village, because sometimes those people doesn't know what is basketball, and sometimes the people that doesn't have anyone that play basketball. So basketball teams or amateur, semi-pro or professional teams can go to their schools or their housing development and play a little bit basketball. Just bring a basketball hoop and a ball and just ask them if they want to play some basketball, just as an introduction to them. The next one is collaboration and partnership. Collaboration and partnership happens with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, or even the official basketball body of Malaysia, which is Malaysian Basketball Association or MABA. So they can engage with, they can partner up with the community to do basketball clinics, or they can do a league amongst them to introduce, or even as a platform to do some competition amongst them. And then teams also can do some basketball clinics to teach them the correct way of playing basketball. So also corporate sponsors play an important role, because we can sponsor them to do, because doing clinics or some programs need some money. So the corporate sponsor can give the money as resources. Next, to the fourth step is to improve the basketball facility in Malaysia. So the first group to do this is the basketball community. We have to search for some sponsors and also contractors to build brand new basketball courts or improve the already used ones. And then we have to make sure they are FIBA approved, FIBA standards, because we don't want courts that are, if the rim is too low or the 3-point line is not really good. So, and then the ministry have to give some funding, also some corporate sponsors to give some funding, and then the public also can help by giving some contribution, by giving donations to improve the basketball facility. In Malaysia, we have so many outdoor basketball courts, but we don't have that much indoor basketball court.